It's with great pleasure that I enter in your house right now. We are back to the teaching, which always declares and tells you the goodness of Yahushua. So, which number is today's teaching? Yeah, the number 17. So, before that, let's pray together to put the words of Yahushua, all of his words in his hands, in the hands of beloved Daddy YAHVAH and Yahushua. To always call you, it is to call you especially by ending your human story. So you were always called, so I don't stop calling you, but the end has already arrived, and even it is about to end now. Okay, we are back to this teaching, which brings the number 17. So the goal is to save you who are listening and those who are following the teaching. The teaching today is the number 17. So in this word, we're going to carry on the title. Yeah, yeah, disappointed because yeah, I mean false hope because those who observe the Ten Commandments, yeah, they are in false hope, and the bad thing is they are going to hell. So that is the thing that we are going to explain. Like false hope, um, because you were observing the Ten Commandments. So yeah, why it gives you false hope? So that is the thing that it is made for the children of Israel, not for French or English, nor Malagasy, nor Chinese, but it is made for the children of Israel only. So let's read Exodus chapter 19, which says that God gave it to the children of Israel. Verse 3 to verse 5. We're going to read it in the name of Yahushua. Then Moses went up to God, and YAHVAH called to him from the mountain and said, this is what you were to say to the descendants of Jacob and what you were going to tell to the people of Israel. Yeah, the border is kind of cut, but I don't know why. You yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasure possession, although the whole earth is mine. So, according to what we have just read, if we are going to read it carefully, so so God, the God of Abraham, has made a covenant, a declaration to the descendants of Jacob and the children of Israel. So, if you French or English or African or Japanese or Chinese who will observe this, so you have already broken the law. So that's why you were living in false hope, because you think that once you observe the Ten Commandments, that God of Abraham will love you. But if we are reading the words, if we are taking a look at the words, it gives you false hope, because even it makes the God of Abraham angry since that long time, because it is so clear here. This is what you're gonna say to the descendants of Jacob and the people of Israel. And this word, you cannot add it, you cannot uh, subtract it, according to Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 2. Do not add to what I command you, and do not subtract from it, but keep the commands of YAHVAH your God that I give you. So here it is said, do not add. That word cannot be added and cannot be subtracted. Which word? The word which cannot be added nor subtracted is, this word is only made for the children of Israel. The words you cannot add is, it's only made for the children of Israel or descendants of Jacob. So the question is, are you descendants of Jacob or children of Israel? Otherwise, you were fake. You were not, because it is only made for the children of Israel, and once it is made for the children of Israel, it is not made for you. because some say we are descendants of Israel. Like, yeah, there's Malagasy person who say that. French also has said that. English too, they say that. Brazilian, yeah, there are lots of people around the world who says that. If we're gonna just talk about Malagasy situation, because I have come to Madagascar's land, so Malagasy, in in a study on you, you come from Borneo, you come from an island, Borneo. So you are not the true one. You cannot say you are Israeli. You are Burnian. So let's see that word. Let me take a look at it because that is needed. That is for the people who say that they are. Um, what was I about to say? Yeah. Okay, let's read it. Sorry. So we're gonna look for your origin. Okay, the origin of Malagasy. You can already show it. Detailed articles, history of Madagascar, politics of Madagascar, and Jewish migration to Madagascar. So that is what we are going to see. Yeah, if uh, do you come from Jewish? So, common Austronesian origin throughout the island, the Vahok, Ntaul, Vazim, and Vezu, CA 2000 BC and 780. So, yeah, detailed article, Vazimba and Vezu. Numerous recent multidisciplinary studies, archaeologically, genetic, linguistic, and historical, all confirms that the entire Malagasy people are primarily of Austronesian origin from the Indonesian archipelago. So it is said clearly that Malagasy people, before, they are originated from Austronesian, so they are come from Indonesia, and genetically an old Polynesian motif. So genetically, we are Polynesian motif, mitochondrial DNA, haplogroup B, subgroup subgroup B4A1A1A2, common and unique in the world, has been detected within different geographically distant and historically endogamous Malagasy ethnic groups such as the Vezu and the Andean Maiden. This alternation of the original Polynesian motif, common and specific to the Malagasy, has been dubbed Malagasy motif by genetic researchers, which means, so let me just explain it in a simple word. The genetic of Malagasy comes from mitochondrial DNA, haplogroup B, subgroup B4A1, A1, A2, which comes, where is it again? Common and unique in the world, has been detected within different geographically distant and historical and dimensional Malagasy ethnic, such as the vase and the Okay, so so it is seen that they are Polynesian motif. Linguistically, the Malagasy lexicon is composed of 90% Austronesian vocabulary. So Malagasy, their language, they use Austronesian vocabulary. So it's this Indonesian. That's it. So yeah, according to the study, there is nothing about like Jewish. No, there is nothing which says such thing. But what we can see here is Indonesia. So the of the Malagasy language come in the Holy Island, a language derived from Proto-Austronesian, belonging to the Proto-Malayo-Polynesian branch, Proto-MP, and to the Proto-Southeast Barito sub-branch, Proto-Seb, which shares the same common ancient base with the present Dayak language of the South Borneo Burrito group, such as Manian, Dusun, Daya, Dusun Malang, Dusun Witu, and the present day Paku. So yeah, it comes from we are from Borneo, that is for Malagasy. From the whole Malagasy cultural stock, common to all Austronesians, from the specific island to Indonesia via New Zealand and the Philippines, ancient customs such as burying the deceased in a dugout. Yeah, so we are following the same customs as these Indonesian. So that's why I said to you it's from Borneo. So according to what we have just read, there is nothing which says that you Malagasy are from Jews. So those who say that Malagasy are from the Jews are wrong. You see, this is in Wikipedia. You can read it. So yeah, origin of Malagasy, and you can see this. So you can find it. You can enter. You can head on the Wikipedia and the origin of Malagasy. So you can see, talking only about Malagasy. So there is nothing that you can you there is nothing which says that you were included in this word, because according to the study, your DNA is Indonesian from Borneo. Read that well. I have just given you the website. Even your DNA, there is no Jewish DNA, but you're Dayak, according to what we have just read. Yeah, we're not gonna get deeper into it, but I've just explained it to you very well. So we're gonna get to the next explanation, that the Ten Commandments and the Law of Moshe is not made for Malagasy or English or French, but it is clear that it is only made for the children of Israel. Secondly, yeah, from the start, where when the Ten Commandments that does exist, it is said, "I am Yahweh, the one who led you from Egypt, the land of slavery." So it's not for you. So Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. We can read it immediately on the screen about the Ten Commandments. So Exodus chapter 20 verse 2. So what I mean is we have to be open-minded, because for example Malagasy, they are deceived. Whether English, whatever a country tries to be Jews, because I mean, because they found that they're with the God of Abraham. It's the opposite. You were fighting against the God of Abraham, because it's not made for you. Because the definition is, it's not for you. So you, Ten Commandments observers, all of you, the fathers and pastors have thrown you to hell, and all the religious leaders who have taught you that, whoever they are. Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. Um, And God spoke all these words: "I am Yahweh your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery." So let's just take example about Malagasy. So, but everyone is the same as long as they're not Israeli. So Malagasy genetically, which means what composes themselves. So the DNA of Malagasy, if they were studied like from Vezu and the others tribes, they come from Borneo, Indonesia. So Malagasy are originated from Indonesia. So it's not made for this Ten Commandments is not made for Malagasy or Chinese, but because it's only made for the children of Israel. That's why I said you are in the false hope and you are deceived to go to hell because you are breaking the law. So the lawbreaker has been revealed. So it's you, Ten Commandments observers. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 from the verse 8 to 9. Second Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8 to 9. And then the lawbreaker one will be revealed, whom whom Yahushua will overthrow with the breath of his mouth and destroy by the splendor of his coming. The coming of the lawbreaker one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of display and power through signs and wonders that serves the lie. So all lawbreakers, you Ten Commandments observers, you broke the law because the word says this is what you're gonna say to the children of Israel and the descendants of Jacob. But you were not Israeli, you were other nations, you were Malagasy or French or English, so you have broken the law. So lawbreaker, according to the words of God, the lawbreaker have been revealed. So these Malagasy, French, English, Chinese, Brazilians, Americans, and so on and so forth, who cries and seek to be like seek to observe the Ten Commandments and want to be with the God of Abraham. You cry to observe the Ten Commandments to be with the God of Abraham, but it is said that you were a lawbreaker, and the lawbreaker one will be revealed. It's you who are listening to me and watching me right now, whom Yahushua will overthrow with the breath of his mouth. So you're gonna be destroyed according to the words of God because you were breaking the law. So everyone who go against the words of our beloved Daddy YAHVAH, so lawbreakers, they are gonna be destroyed. And according to the words of God, the coming of the lawbreaker one will be in accordance with how Satan works. With he will use all sorts of displays, power through signs and wonders that serves the lie. Look at these religious leaders; they're performing miracles and displays. So God said they have arrived according in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serves the light. So these miracles performers, they are from the devils. Everything that they do are from the Satan. So every those people around the world who are performing miracles, so you were following them, are getting miracles from the devils. Look at what these religious leaders did. If you have followed the news, they dare to order people to eat snakes. That is devil. How can a religious thing order people to eat snake? That is devil. The snake is a devil, but that is your Jesus. That is your Jesus. What Jesus did is he gave blessing to dogs. He prays to dogs. They give blessing to someone who get married with dogs. They give communion to dogs. That is despising the God of Abraham. Aren't you all human around the world conscious that you were doing nonsense thing with Jesus and Jesus? That's why I always say that he comes from the devil. He makes you sin. Look, the Catholic and Protestants, yeah, because they are your leader. They will give blessing extraterrestrials in the baptism. That is international use. And are you humans are not conscious that this is from the devil? What is the reason of the flood? It was because humans get married with the extraterrestrial in the time of Noah. Yeah, the extraterrestrial get married with human, and they gave birth of Nephilim. Yeah, they were called son of God, but they're not son of God, but they're the devils. That's why there was the flood, inundation. Let's read that. What causes the flood, the inundation at that time? So we're gonna read in the Genesis chapter 6 in the name of Yahushua. Genesis chapter 6 verse 3. Yeah, let's start from the verse 1. When human beings began to increase in numbers on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful. Yeah, sons of God here are devils because devils were gathered with the Son of God too when they were gathered. That's why they were called all sons of God once they were not yet kicked out because it was still at a time that they were not kicked out from the heaven. So they were not yet kicked out. So the Son of God saw the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they choose. Then that Yahweh was angry. Then Yahweh said, "My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. For they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of human and had children with by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown." Yeah, verse 4, that was about the Nephilim. Verse 5, the and Yahweh saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. Yahweh regretted that he had made human being on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So Yahweh said, "I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created with them, the animals, the bird, and the creature that moves along the ground, for I regret that I have made them." So now we can see that Yahweh regretted by creating these humans because they have got married with these sons of God. But yeah, they are not sons of God, but they were classified as sons of God because sons of God in the heaven of heavens don't get married. But you see, in the time of Job, when the sons of God gathered, the devils were also there. Job chapter 1. Let's read it here. Job chapter 2, verse 1. One another day, the angels, the sons of God, came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan also came with them to present himself before him. So even Satan's want to present himself in front of Yahweh. So they were among the sons of God. So these devils, they were classified as sons of God, even though they were already devils at that time. So they show like sons of God. That's why they were always classified as sons of God. So they were called like sons of God get married with humans. But they were devils and satans. But the angels in the heaven of heavens, they don't get married. The angels in the heaven of heavens don't get married. They don't do that. So if these ones get married, so they're the devil. So once humans get married with extraterrestrial and they give birth to Nephilim, so God wiped them out. So once these humans had children with these beasts, so they can keep on doing bad things. So there were Nephilims at that time. So that's why these leaders, Israeli leaders, were afraid. But it's only Joshua and Caleb who were not afraid, but the others didn't get in. So they were wiped out in the desert. So there were Nephilims in the Canaan land. That's why Israeli did